Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that he will only agree to a permanent ceasefire deal in Gaza on the condition that it is not used as a lifeline for Hamas.
And this comes as calls for a ceasefire deal are growing both in and outside Israel. Addressing a press conference in Jerusalem, Netanyahu outrightly rejected the intention to withdraw from the Philadelphi corridor in the first phase of the deal, expected to last 42 days, adding that international pressure would make it effectively impossible to return.
We're committed to achieving our goals. All three goals: destroying Hamas's military and governing capabilities, releasing all our hostages, and ensuring that Gaza does not become a threat to Israel anymore. And all these require standing firm on the things that will ensure the achievement of these goals. And with God's help, and with our people's will, and with the courage of our soldiers, we'll achieve all goals. And all three of those goals, all three of them, go through Israel's control of the Philadelphi corridor. And it's obvious why. You want to destroy Hamas's military and governing capabilities, you can't let Hamas rearm. It's obvious. So you have to control the corridor.
Netanyahu also accused Hamas of rejecting all proposals for a ceasefire deal in Gaza that would allow the release of hostages, as Israeli army released a video which shows a tunnel where the bodies of 6 hostages were recovered.
At the same time, protests in central Tel Aviv persisted into a 4th consecutive night on Wednesday, calling for Prime Minister Netanyahu to negotiate a ceasefire agreement to safely bring back remaining hostages.
The public anger against Netanyahu has gone up since the Israeli forces discovered the remains of 6 hostages in the southern Gaza tunnels just last week.
Now, the Philadelphi corridor, which runs along southern edge of the Gaza Strip bordering Egypt, it's proven to be a stumbling block in striking a peace deal which could essentially halt the fighting in Gaza, enabling Israel to bring back hostages in exchange of Palestinian prisoners.
Meanwhile, the families of several Israeli hostages, including that of 6 bodies which were recovered from a tunnel in southern Gaza on Sunday, accused Netanyahu of sacrificing their loved ones by insisting to keep the troops in the corridor. On the other hand, the governor of Jenin in occupied West Bank, Kamal Abu al-Rab, has said that the situation in Israeli closed military areas is bad. He said the Israeli army was preventing water and food from getting to families trapped in the besieged areas, and that they have been forced to leave their homes.
The situation in the areas which are under siege is bad. The Israeli army is preventing food, water, ambulances and journalists from reaching these besieged areas. So we don't know what is happening in the areas which they consider to be military closed areas. We are getting lots of calls for help.
Meanwhile, top UN officials on peace building and humanitarian affairs met and discussed the situation in Gaza at the UN Security Council, where a war of words ensued between Israel and Palestinian representatives. The meeting was requested by Israel, backed by its veto-holding allies, France, Great Britain and the United States.